Oh dear, it's time for another episode of Mr. Nailsin Sunday Comics. For our Halloween month of stories, so I picked Skeleton Hand, a horror comic book. Yeah. So for our second story, it's The Sea of Retribution. So there we are. Prisoner 1397. Take your step into hell, or whatever this is. I don't know. Is that Hitler? No, I guess he just has a big old black booker coming out of his nose. And is that George Washington? Oh, it's probably Benedict Arnold or something. Well, let's read it and find out. Anyway, James Simon was a smart operator. Even when his fraud was exposed and he was sent to prison for selling defective steel plates to shipyards, he could afford to smile. Why should he worry? What did a few years off of his life mean when he had a fortune in money safely hidden away to be used when he got free? Yes, James Simon had planned well for every eventuality, except one. It was one from out of the terrifying realm beyond death itself. That was to send him forth on a terrifying voyage on the Sea of Retribution aboard SS Martin. Anyway, at the culmination of his trial, I wish I could send you to the electric chair, James Simon. You are a murderer, in every sense of the word. You sent scores of brave American sailors to their deaths when their ships broke up and sank because of defective steel plating you sold. You are a despicable traitor to your country. Yet, by the law, I can sentence you all to only 15 years of hard labor. Now take this creature away. Shut him off from the eyes of decent men. Why, we're decent. We're going to have to see him. Anyway, look at that smirk on his face. After this, I'll run for Congress. Anyway, so James Simon went to the penitentiary, but even there, the convicts never let him forget. You no good coward. Killing's too good for you. Later on in the shower, well, it was a different story, but he kept his mind on the money. That got him through it. He thought of the money. Anyway, but Simon closed his ears to the condemnation. He thought only of the wealth that awaited him. Let them talk. What if I did sabotage the American Merchant Marine? A man's bankroll comes first, don't it? The weary months passed until one night Simon began to think of escaping. It was strange how the thought came to him, almost as if a voice had whispered in his ear. You can escape, James Simon. A man as clever as you. Guess I just dreamt that I heard a voice, but say, what if I could escape? I could get my money, slip away to South America, and live like a king. But I suppose it's foolish. How would I ever get out of this place? Then the whisper came again, so distinct that there could be no doubt about it. It will be easy. I will help you. Now the voice came from the barred cell door, and there was a man standing outside, a man wearing strange and ancient garments, as if he had come from a masquerade. What? Who are you? And why are you gray and black and white? Right? Never mind, James Simon. I have come to help you flee these walls. As the cell door swung noiselessly open. But why are you doing this for me? You will find out later. Hasten. Down the long cell block crept Simon and the stranger past guards who seemed either asleep or drugged, then out through the great gate to freedom. You've got to tell me who you are. It's fantastic, the way you got me out of that place. Everything will be clear to you soon, James Simon. Very clear. Skippity hop. Okay, fog. I thought I said foe. A fog swirled and eddied, shutting out all sight of buildings and land. The hand on his arm was icy cold, the fingers like talons. Fear came to Simon then. He tried to pull free and could not. Let me go. You're hurting me. Not as much as you hurt others, James Simon. And then the salty scent of the sea. Where were they? I must be dreaming. This can't be happening. Wow, they're walking on water. Anyway, Simon closed his eyes in terror. When he opened them, where am I? Where have you brought me? I keep wanting to say Simon J. Read, James Simon, and remember. The Martin! It can't be! She's sunk! Yes, one of the ships you sent to her doom. Here, men, I have brought the traitor here as I promised. He is the one who murdered all of you, and many more. He is the wretch who sought to destroy for money that which I started. Shaking with fright, Simon stared at his strange companion, at his uniform, and the face that seemed familiar. And then he recalled where he had seen that face before. In the history books he had studied as a boy. He looks like John Paul Jones. Oh, well, shouldn't have said I thought maybe he was bent down. But it's impossible. He's been dead for countless years. Yes, I am John Paul Jones, founder of the American Navy. I have come back, as I always will, when traitors threaten my ships. But I didn't sink those ships. They cracked up in storms. How could I help the weather? Is that the skipper? Ugly Gilligan? I don't know. But no one seemed to hear Simon's words. Death! Only death for this traitor. Do you all agree, sailors? No, let me go. I'll pay you all the money I made. Just let me go. Death. You don't believe me, but I mean it. I'll take you to where the money is hidden, and you can have it. Or you can give it to me. Don't give it to them, they're ghosts. You can give it to the people, the drowned sailors left behind. Very well. Show me where this money is. Yes, I've learned my lesson. I'm sorry for what I did. Only spare my life. Then abruptly the sunken ship was gone, and Simon found himself streaking through the air with his spectral companion. It's hidden at my house under the garage. I'll show you. Now, if this will only work, I'll have a real chance to escape. In what seemed a handful of seconds, they had arrived at Simon's palatial mansion, now deserted and locked up. Take me to where it is. We've got to go into the garage. In the garage, Simon touched a concealed switch. Switched? A hidden panel opened. I have a secret vault below. The money's there. He's going down. Now's my chance. A sudden push. He pushed the ghost. This dude walked on water and then flew you back to land. I mean, he's desperate, you know. So anyway, a sudden push from the rear, and the specter hurtled down the steps. It was easier than I thought. He'll never get out of there now. Never. Like a man possessed, Simon sped to one of his cars. He knew where there was gasoline in his tank, and that it was ready to roll. I've done it. I'm free. Now all I have to do is drive to the place where I really hid the money. Through night-shrouded roads, he guided his car at top speed, always alert to any possible pursuit. The police may have been tipped off about the prison break. Now, I can't afford to be picked up. Not now. There was no sign of pursuit. and within half an hour he came to a stop in a secluded valley in the mountains. Nobody's been here, I can tell, and it's all waiting for me. The suitcase packed with banknotes was exactly where he had left it. What I've waited for, and all mine. Once I get to the coast, I'll slip aboard a freighter and stow away. South America, that's where I'll go. He drove cautiously now, ready for the first sign of danger. The ferry will take me across the river, to the harbor. I'll abandon the car there. A ferry boat had just pulled into the slip as Simon drove up. I'm in luck. There's the ferry inn. Roll right to the front, mister. Simon obeyed. He lifted his foot to bring it down on the brake when he had almost reached the chains that formed the barrier at the bow of the boat. Then, you! Yeah, he's a ghost, stupid. Terror paralyzed Simon. He couldn't bring his poised foot down on the brake. The car smashed into the chains and broke through. I can't stop it. No, James Simon, you can't. Help! No! No, the drowned sailor's coming for me. Death! 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 Well, he's going to be dead pretty quick. Drowning, you know. Anyway, next morning, looks like there's a suitcase jammed down on the footboards. Wonder what's in it. James Simon made the headlines again. James Simon drowned after a fantastic escape from the state penitentiary. James Simon... What? Met death. I said wet death. Met death when he drove his car off a ferry boat. In the car, police found a suitcase packed with banknotes, probably the loot Simon obtained from his criminal activities. By court order, the money will be divided among... I don't think that's how the print was done, but... Anyway, the families of the sailors will get the dough. So, well, I guess that Simon got what was coming to him. Yeah, he sure did. As the ghost of John Paul Jones looks on. The end. So, a little ghostly justice for an asshole, you know. So, yeah, I gotta say, I think this was a better one than the last one. It's not great, but the art's pretty good. And so, this is one of those things, a lot of them were like Twilight Zone would do and all these anthology comics, certainly the horror comics, where you had people just complete pieces of crap. And this supernatural justice comes upon them, you know. So there you go. That's a good little yarn. Chill chatter. We won't get into that. What's for next week? Oh, Death for Hire. I didn't know he was a freelance. So there we go. Jeez Louise. Looks like another prisoner. But yeah, and they woke him up. It looks like that was a mistake. Too late. Well, we'll find out next week on Mr. Nailsin Sunday Comics.